What's going on, everybody? This is Dave from This is Pop Punk Promotions. I'm here with Fallow from Pendergrass, Georgia. How's it going, boys?
Good,
Good,
man.
brother.
How are
How you
you?
doing?
Doing great. Really appreciate you guys coming on. Let's dive right into it. So, when had you guys form?
Oh, goodness. It was August of 2025.
And I feel like it was kind of an inevitability because I started working for the company that I worked for around 6 years ago. He started about 3 years ago. And so when he started, of course, we just like always talk shop, talk music and things like this, and found out we loved the same type of music, same genre and all that. And of course, like I have a goodness, it's like a cigar box guitar like hanging in my office. And so he brought his guitar to his office. And so like we go in there and just kind of jam around and stuff. And we're like, we should try to write some songs. So I feel like,
Always been messing around.
yeah, it was kind of like inevitable at some point we were going to start trying to write songs together. And then next thing you know, we just kind of had a few songs. We're like, let's just put them out, because I hadn't put out music prior to us putting out music in years.
Yeah. I used to actually listen to his music, funny enough. I had a couple of mutual friends to call him when he was in his band Snowblind. I was following them. And when he went to Harlan, I was listening to that. So when we started working together, it was like, well, hey, dude, I've actually been like listening to your music for the last few years. So we should try and write something together sometime.
Well, it's so funny too because the age gap of ours, it's like
Yeah.
we don't really think about it too often. And then he's like, he was like, dude, yeah, I had listened to Snowblind for a few years, and I'm like, what are you talking about a few years? It was always weird in my head to try to wrap it around. He's like, I was listening to it when I was in high school.
Yeah.
Like, what are
Yeah.
you talking about, bro?
I'd still remember the day I like was out in the parking lot at school. I just got out of class. I opened up Instagram and they announced they broke up. I was like, dude, what the heck?
Well, because we, we didn't form that little group until I was a few years outside of high school. So when he was telling me, he's like, I was listening to that in high school, it didn't register to me. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like, you got the times all wrong. But no, it's so fun, man. And to be able to play music, I feel like it's a cliche, right? That everyone that's in a group together is like, oh, dude, to be able to play music with our best friend. But dude, like I see this dude more just about than my family because we work 8 hours a day, 5 days a week together. And so it's like we've become such close friends. I mean, best friends, like more or less family in that time that we've worked together. And so now that we play music, it's even like it's like a cherry on top. Because if there's something we need done, it's like, oh, do we need to, get an album cover for something
Yeah.
coming out? It's like, all right, well, let's get it tomorrow.
Let's sit down in the office and we'll figure it out when we
Yeah,
got a
it's
little bit
coming.
of time.
That's really sick.
It's awesome, man. I tell you, it's a blessing for sure.
Right on. So, in November, you guys drop Blue Bloom. How's the response been?
I'd say we've had probably a lot more of a response than we were expecting. Being just two guys that are like living out in Pendergrass, there's not like many people around us. So it's mainly been promotion just through sending people the link and be like, hey, listen to this. If you like it, maybe tell a few people. But it definitely got a lot bigger response than we were expecting. It helped having a Christmas song on the EP, so that kind of gave us a little second boost in December when we dropped a music video for it to be like, hey, don't forget, we just released music last month.
Well, and it's kind of like we were talking about earlier before this too, Dave. It's like, a lot of that, you kind of have this dream as a teenager or a young adult, like where you're growing up, you're like, dude, I really want to make it into music. I mean, what an amazing career this would be. You see it on the TV, you see other people. And, of course, like when I was right outside of high school, it was like hardcore. I was in a band with a few other guys, and it was like constant promotion, constant reaching out via emails, trying to book shows, going back and forth with promoters. And, I told Jeremiah at the beginning when he's like, dude, we should put out songs. I'm like, dude, that's all fine and that sounds so much fun, but I don't have it in me anymore. I don't feel the want that I did as a teenager to like try to be, quote unquote big or try to make it a career. Like I just love music, right? And just like you, I couldn't care less if I made a buck on it. It's just fun to make the songs and put them out. So for me, personally, when we put it out, I mean, I hardly touched anything because when we put it out, Jeremiah did most of everything on it, mixing it, all that good stuff. We just recorded it off some little microphones we had. Some of it was even done, in places that we probably shouldn't have been recording at, but it got finished. And it's funny to me because he would make a promotional video or what a lyric video or whatever, and I'd just share it on my Facebook. And that was the extent of my promotion, as bad as that sounds, because I was like, dude, after years and years of effort, I just don't have it in me anymore. And we shared it, and to his point, it's like I, for example, when we posted a Snowblind music video, the most views it got, even with like trying to promote, it's like 1,000 views. You know what I mean? Which was a feat to us,
Yeah.
young adults, be like, dude, 1,000 views on YouTube, that's cool. And then when we posted our music video for Merry Christmas,
Yeah.
it got, I think, within the first week. And again, it's nothing catastrophic by any means, but in perspective, I think it got like 250 views in the first week, and I was like, bro,
Didn't
it's
even know we
cool
had
from
that
my
many eyes on
perspective
us. Yeah.
because I'm just kind of being able to sit back. Poor Jeremiah, I don't know the extent of his promotion, but I'm just sitting back. I'm like, hey, this is pretty cool. I'm kind of just like out of sight, out of mind with
Yeah.
it, just throwing down some vocals for a fun project that I love to do, and he's just kind of hustling it. So
I think I look at it as music's like the only thing I got. I don't really play video games. I'm not into sports. I don't talk, shop with a bunch of different guys. So music's all I do. So when he's like, "Hey, I don't really want to like sit and make TikTok videos all day trying to talk about our band." I'm like, "I can get that. I got all the time in the world whenever, I've got free time. So I'll just focus on that for
which
now."
it's so easy to talk about free time, but he's got nearly a 2-year-old,
Yeah.
and then I've got a 3-year-old, and so it's like for us it is that balance, right? Of like hey, before we say that we're going to get together to practice for live shows, before we say we're going to do an EP, like we have to kind of map out a plan, right? Because between work and then spending time with our family, which we wouldn't trade that for the world, it's definitely not a sacrifice. But at the same time, it's like anything that I do personally that takes time away from being with my daughter or my wife, it's like I want to do it and try to do it very well. And so, I think that definitely we handled the EP, in my opinion, like the parts that we did, like we handled it delicately in the sense of we knew that if we were going to put time on it, we wanted to put some serious time into
Yeah.
it because we're taking away time from things that we love. You know what I mean?
Well, you got my respect.
Thank
I
you so much.
appreciate
Hey, well,
that.
you have ours too,
Oh
bro.
yeah,
Like
for
we talked
sure.
about prior. It's like it's insane what you do. I genuinely yeah, I don't know if I could do what you do, bro. 13 years later, you still got it, and I'm burnt out after a few years of promotion. I'm like, take the lead, Jerry. You got this.
Yeah.
And Dave's like, what a pansy, bro. I've been here 13 years, big dog.
Tough. It's definitely really tough, but very rewarding.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
for sure.
Right on. So, who do you guys record this EP with, and how was the response?
So we handle all the recording ourselves. I started learning to produce when I was in high school, and then Cole's, been producing most of his own music as well for as long as he's been in it. So it was kind of one of those things is when we got together, it was like, hey, we don't want to have to be dropping a lot of money and taking away from our families on this. If we can keep it all in house and do it ourselves, let's do it. So there'd be times, I come over to his place and we're recording, or he comes over to my place and we record, or I just send him the Logic file and go do your work. Uh, so luckily it's something we don't have to go spending a few grand on to get someone to produce us and then mix it and then master it and then get it back to us so we can push it out and try and promote it. We are very blessed that we're able to handle most of that on our own.
Which a lot of like very seasoned musicians will know, and I'm not saying that because I feel like I am. I'm definitely not, but seasoned musicians will know that when you're in a studio environment, it can definitely help, push out a better record, right? Because you've got a producer that may have worked with bands that you love, or just worked with bands in general that could say, hey, instead of this amp, let's try to run it through this, and then that kind of inspire a new sound. So it's a blessing and a curse, in my opinion, doing it yourself, because it's kind of one of those situations where all of that work, like you're playing the producer, the sound,
Yeah.
the engineer, the musician, you're kind of playing all those roles, which is great to have that control because it saves you cash, right? But at the same time, you know, I'm curious. We've talked about before, like possibly, even if it's not paying for studio time, kind of pulling, a producer in to kind of sit down with us and get their thoughts on a track, just to kind of inspire creativity. So, it's fun, again, being able to be in a room with your best friend
Yeah.
and just experiment with different sounds and stuff.
Play
But
off of each other a
yeah,
lot.
yeah,
Yeah.
it can be one of those things where sometimes it's like, "Huh, I wonder if we sent this to a buddy, what he would say would kind of be cool. Because you can get, anybody knows you sit down with a track for 5, 6, 7, 8 hours. It's like you hear the same thing and you're like, I think it sounds good, bro.
Yeah.
I don't know. At this point, let's come back to it tomorrow. We'll see. It might sound completely different. You know what I mean?
I think it would probably like drive me absolutely nuts.
Yeah.
And I think honestly I would go insane, like mentally. I would just like rip my hair out and just like go, go
Oh,
absolutely
dude.
nuts.
You
Because
have to step away. You'll get fatigued and you'll think you got it right, and then you'll step away and you'll come back and be like, "This sounds like garbage. What have I been doing for the
you
last
sit
3 years?"
there and like you'll just loop one, 2 bar measure
Yeah.
for an hour, being like, melody idea, melody idea. No, that sucks. And you might even record half the song and be like, and especially if you're like us, like
Trash
trash.
it. Just
Just do
throw it
just
away, start over.
And then you finally get something that sticks, and then you're always like, I think that sticks. If I come back to it tomorrow, or if I'm humming it later tonight or something, if a lot of the times personally, if it's not like an earworm for me, like a lot of the stuff, whether it was with Fallow, Snowblind, or Harlow, like I would know that okay, it was something that I liked regardless. If I would find myself like humming that tune the next day, you know what I mean, or that chorus or pre-chorus, then I'm like, okay, well then that's concrete because it's kind of catchy to me, right?
Well, again, you guys got my respect. I wouldn't be able to do it.
Bro, like I
I
say, you're
appreciate it.
13 years deep in something I couldn't do. So
Yeah.
Touche. So what would you say your favorite and least favorite thing is about the writing and recording process?
I'd say probably my favorite part's just, I mean, obviously us getting to hang out and just play off each other. But I will say, trying to at times, especially after like a long day, trying to come up with new ideas can be frustrating at times, especially when you feel like you've exhausted all of your knowledge as it is. A lot of times I have to like step away and try and go like listen to some new music to try and find some sort of inspiration to grab at just to get a new note on the guitar. Uh, so it can be a push and pull feeling a lot of times trying to write new music.
I'm very fortunate because I sound like awful as like a band member, right? Because like Jerry does most of all. Like if I sit down with my acoustic guitar and I come up with something that I send to Jerry, we both like, then cool, like uh myself, on the record. It's like
Yeah, help myself.
yeah, it's one of those things that's kind of sat down with acoustic and wrote. That was a few years ago that I wrote
Yeah.
that song, and then we kind of revamped it and brought it on. But I love that I can kind of sit down in my own element, and if I come up with something acoustically, then it's like, okay, we'll pull it in. If it's not something like that, then Jerry's mainly writing the music, and then pretty much either sending me the instrumentation or I'm listening to it at work, and then I just get to sit down and come up with melodies, which that in and of itself can kind of be frustrating, right? Getting something that because music, Jerry writes good music. So then like it's my job to make sure that the melodies and the way that it's sung and the chorus, it complements the music, or else I failed, in my opinion. So like if he brings me a good product, you're like, oh crap, dude. Like if this
Yeah.
flops, it's kind of on me in terms of like if
And
we think
I'm
it's good.
relying on him a lot because I'm like very bad at writing vocal melodies. So I'll be like, I've got words, but I don't know where to take it from there. So I'm leaning back on you to figure out what the
Well, I'm glad we
melodies
both
supposed to
feel
be.
like we're kind of like leaning on each other because I'm like,
Yeah.
dude, because and that's the thing. I love recording vocals. I don't like dude, I love harmonies and stuff, but it's stacking them that kind of drives me mad. Is because again, I'll sit there and listen to a loop, and I don't have an ear for like natural harmonization vocally. So like for me, I might have to listen, like I say, for a loop for an hour if I want to stack a 6-part harmony or something till I can figure out vocally where those harmonies are. Um, but I love recording vocals. But if I had to say like what's the most grueling part of it, my opinion is again sitting by myself because a lot of times like if you're at home, you've done the music, I'll just do the vocals here,
Yeah.
and it's just sitting here like trying to get in that
Headspace. Yeah.
headspace to be like, all right, Where do I want to take it? How do I want it to go? And then sitting down and trying to make what's in your head kind of make sense on the track. Because the recording, it's fun. It's just what am I going to record that can be, But I think at the same time, without trying to word vomit, the only pressure with this kind of thing, because we're not by any means some band that you're gonna look up on Spotify that's like not even 50 month like
Yeah.
we're very small scale,
Yeah.
and so the only pressure allotted that is what we put on ourselves. So I try not to take it like intense. Like it's
Yeah.
it's nothing too serious. It's just fun.
Oh yeah. At the end of the day, if no one likes the song and we do, at least we like the song, you know.
Yeah,
I'll
exactly.
have it on rotation in the car at least.
Yeah, exactly.
All about feeding off of each other.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like I feed off him too much, and then he feels like he feeds off me. So it's a good toxic relationship we've got going
We're
on.
just hoping someone doesn't lean too far.
Yeah, exactly.
Very cool, guys. So, who would you say your influences are?
Gosh. For me, I know a lot of my inspirations are going to be very different than his.
Mhm.
I draw a lot from movements, Teenage Wrist, Slow Joy. A lot of those more like Midwest, post-hardcore, shoegazy bands, Trauma Ray, bands like that. I love a lot of the ambient cleans and really good driving bass tone. So that's kind of where I'd go to when I'm trying to find inspiration for instrumental stuff.
I grew up on like acoustic music primarily. So, for example, like Bon Iver, I love. Ben Howard was the first dude who I ever watched play live. I remember like and getting really inspired to learn how to play guitar. There's a really good artist that I grew up on, Gregory Alan Isakov, does very almost like poetic acoustic songs, and then there's very vibrato-y acoustic songs that I love by like Novo Amor or Vancouver Sleep Clinic. And so I love, love, love those types of music, but I also love hip hop,
Yeah.
right? And then bands like you said, movements. I love Turnover. Um, just it's really, really anything I really love, but I'd say most of my inspiration is genuinely from like acoustic music because I think the reason I grew such a strong connection with that is like you have to be at least the music that I always kind of grew up listening to was very emotionally connecting. So I could understand what they're saying, and it really kind of like I'll never forget my dad asked me one time, he said, why do you like sad songs so much? Right. And I think even in Midwest emo pop punk, a lot of songs, the vocal substance is that of like could be sad song,
Yeah.
right? A breakup, whatever. And he asked me, he's like, why do you love sad songs? I'm like, because sad songs just make me feel happy, because you kind of have that sense of like relatability to the subject
Yeah.
matter. And so I've always just grown a lot of inspiration from the acoustic type of like lyrical writing because melodies are pretty predominant, and then the lyric substance is pretty predominant. So that's where I drive a lot of my inspiration ever since I was just a kid.
It's really sick. So, here's the $1 million question for you guys. If you could tour with one of those bands, who would it be?
I'll let
Oh.
you pick, dude. You write the instruments, the
Yeah.
music, so you pick. You would know a better fit.
If Movement sent me an email tomorrow and was like, "Hey, come open for us," even if it was just for like an Atlanta show, I'd probably fall over and croak.
Yeah, and then we wouldn't be able to do it. So
Half the band's dead at that
yeah.
point.
Movements would be really epic.
And
Yeah.
and like I think it'd be cool, man, because they're kind of in the same vein as movements, but there's a band called Foxing, which I've always loved the dude's voice. And so I think that'd be a really cool
Oh
one.
yeah.
I mean, there's no way at all that we'd be up to snuff to be able to fit like a bill with these guys.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
we'd be the ones like shaking, dropping a microphone, being around these dudes, but at the same time, it's like maybe the genre slightly makes sense.
Yeah.
Never say never. Just keep grinding, keep doing your thing, and maybe it'll happen.
That's
Maybe.
right, dude. I mean,
Maybe.
there's some weird bills out there, right? Like
Oh,
you
yeah.
see some weird like I don't think that works, but then they make it work. You know
Yeah, I
what I
went
mean?
to a Remo Drive show in like 2018, and one of their openers was Field Medic, and it was just like, yeah, this doesn't make sense in my head, but maybe it did in theirs. I don't know.
And if anybody watching knows anything about kind of like the scene in Georgia, they'll remember a place I'm sure called Furnace 41. And the owner of that place was just a rock star, and he would throw these awesome bills together, and it would be like within the same line, like a metal winter show or whatever. And I remember he reached out and Snowblind got on it, and I was like, I remember thinking to myself like, I don't know if we're fit for like metal, but of course we'll take anything. We took the show, and it ended up kind of working. I think it's funny. It's all really perspective,
Yeah, how
right?
things end up transitioning
Yeah,
throughout the show.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
That's awesome. So now I'm going to ask you guys some non-music questions. It's a good way for me to get to know you as people. I did this with the other bands. You ready to roll?
Yes,
I
sir.
got you.
All right, first one, favorite season.
I'm a fall guy.
100%.
Like cabin in the fall, that's my dream, like home right there.
Yeah, if there was a way to just cut where it's just fall all the time, it's crispy, the air is just nice,
Yeah.
and you mix a daggum cinnamon or like apple cinnamon candle up in a home in the
Yeah.
fall, bro, I will fall asleep on your couch. No doubt. I get cozy. The fall's just cozy.
Yeah.
I know that's probably a cliche answer, but I'm totally feeding off that.
I love being outside in the fall, man. That's like just to me like the perfect scenery with the leaves changing and all that. It
When it's
really inspires me.
It sucks too, because dude, anybody that has allergies, I don't know if you do, Dave. I know you do, like me, but like the pollen sucks in the summertime because I'm
Oh,
constantly sneezing. I have to
oh,
take this like preventative inhaler to breathe. And then the winter, I like more, depending on how cold it's going to be than the summer, because I
yeah.
can always put on more clothes, but then you'll catch a charge if you take a certain amount off. Uh, but I feel like the fall is just that perfect.
Yeah.
It's cool, but it's not cold.
Yeah.
It's cool. It's not hot.
It just sucks for us here in Georgia because fall's like a 2 week period and then it just immediately is
Yeah,
ice.
exactly.
It's all ice after that.
Yeah, we're hardly able to say it's finally fall before it's
Yeah.
over.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting you say fall because like for the longest time I wasn't super duper crazy about it because it started getting colder in fall, but now it's becoming one of my favorite seasons because of flannels and beanies and
Yeah,
pumpkin
man.
spice
Yeah.
and apple cider and football and all that and emo music. So
Dig
yeah,
it,
Dude,
it's
dude.
emo
definitely
music in the fall, bro.
oh yeah,
Like,
just
and the
chef's kiss.
colors, man. It's just beautiful. Like fall is just genuinely, I think a lot of people you could just say the word fall and they have a depictor in their head.
Yeah.
Like they can see the fall. You know what I mean? It's just I don't know, bro. I could talk about fall forever. Like the colors of the leaves are so pretty.
We'll
And
be
like
here for an hour.
you see trees that are like half leaf, half falling off, and it's just like, bro, I want to climb up in that thing, dude. I'm gonna climb
Great
up in
for
that.
taking pictures.
Yeah, dude, which his
Yeah.
wife just started doing here recently, so she'll probably be nailing some
Oh
fall
yeah. You'll
photos.
probably see some photos of me posing in front of the trees, man.
Yeah, with his shirt off. Just
Would make great for a calendar.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
exactly.
Fallow
You gotta
calendar
take
coming
it.
to you next year.
No fallow count, just a Jerry calendar.
I
And
am the fallow.
every month, like a piece of clothing falls off. So it's like you start fully clothed and you go to February and it's like you just have your shirt off.
I'm starting a new website called Only Fall.
Yeah, just calendars.
It just
Well, let
calendar.
me know when it's out. I'll buy a calendar and support. I'm all about that life.
Oh,
That's awesome. So I'm a big Pokemon guy, all right? It's one of my favorite
Awesome.
games, one of my favorite shows, movies of all time. If you could be any Pokemon, which one and why?
Game, bro.
oh,
Yeah.
Cole, you're gonna have to go first.
That's game, bro. I'm Mewtwo all day. I would be Mewtwo. And I know from the Pokemon movie, we all cried if you saw it. But he's not that bad a guy. And, Mew's cool, but like something about Mewtwo, dude, the art, like when you see those full illustration rares of Mewtwo on them. Do you play Pokemon TCG on the phone?
No, no. I just do Game Boy and Game Boy Advance, and that's it.
Oh, so so
Okay.
Game Boy, so you're hitting the
The
OGs.
OG, yeah.
I'm the
We
OG.
we're obsessed with the mobile card game at the shop
Hey,
there.
speaking of Dave, hold on, I got something. I gotta show you something. It's funny that you say that, bro, because I got this about a year ago
That's awesome.
with the
Oh, yes. Right up my alley. Love it.
the fire red, bro. That is
Yes.
one of my favorites because I loved Ruby and Sapphire too as a kid. And I'm just now getting into the 3DS Pokemon games because I kind of quit playing them really after like the Game Boy Advance era. I played some on the Switch. Uh, but I don't know, dude. I kind of cheated on the Switch one though because you could do the online. Did you play the Switch one at all?
No, no Switch, just what was it? Nintendo 64 and the Game Boy and Game Boy Advance,
So you
and
hit
that's it.
Stadium and stuff like that?
Yeah, I
And
played
Snap?
Stadium.
Pokemon Snap was fire too, dude. That was a great game. But like on the Switch one, I'll summarize it. But like you can do if you have online, you can do like an online random trade. So like I could have a level one, like I don't know, Weedle or something, right? And then I could put it up for a random trade, so the person on the other end wouldn't know what they're getting, and I wouldn't know what I'm getting. Dude, I traded like level one Weedles for like level 50 something gang Pokemon. And I'm like, yo, you just got screwed, bro. But then I took those. Problem is, though, if you're far away level from, your other Pokemon, then like this level 50 Pokemon, he don't listen to you as well. So if you tell him to attack, it'll miss and stuff. But I took that boy all the way to the equivalent of like the Game Boy, like the Elite Four. I took him all the way, bro, and I won. And I was like, I kind of screwed myself because I kind of cheated in a way. I didn't like level this guy up or nothing. Uh, but I love the Pokemon original games. So Mewtwo though, because he's like the OG. I saw the Pokemon movie in theaters, and I remember when I saw Mewtwo, I was straight up like, "Yo, this dude's dope. This dude's like an alien, a Pokemon that can kind of talk and like think and like craziness." He was awesome. So him for sure, dude. He's gangster.
Yeah, I maybe it's basic, but I think Bulbasaur is going to be mine.
Bulbasaur.
Yeah, I love because I grew up
Not even
watching.
the evolution?
No, straight up, just I grew up watching the animated series as a kid,
Okay. Okay.
and I'm like, I'm a lot younger than Cole here, so I'm fixing to make him feel old. I was like 4 or 5 when this show was out, so when I saw Bulbasaur, I was like, yo, that's my dude. And from like that age on, that's been my favorite Pokemon for whatever
I
reason.
know this is Dave's thing, right? Like this is Dave's show, but I
Yeah,
got like so as a kid you saw Bulbasaur and he gravitated more you gravitated more toward him than like Charmander.
yeah, I don't know why.
Charmander would
There's a
hook
photo
Charmander would
somewhere.
hook your boy, bro.
Yeah, probably. There's a photo somewhere on the internet from ages ago of me building pixel art in Minecraft of Bulbasaur. That's
Dedication.
yeah, that's like all-time favorite
That's that.
Pokemon for whatever
Dave, are you
reason.
gonna get the new Lego sets that they're coming out with?
I did not hear about that, but now that you told me, I'm gonna have to look into it.
Bro,
Yeah,
they're really, I don't know if they're out yet, but I know that I guess Lego picked up the IP because I think Mega Bloks or someone had it. But whatever, they're coming out with one that's got Charizard. It's got I can't think right now, but Bulbasaur's final evolution is what I
all
you
right.
got Bulbasaur, Venusaur, and Ivysaur, and then Blastoise, and it's got all three of them on one big like Lego display. Oh, dude, it's so wicked. But of course, in Lego fashion, it's pretty expensive, but sick.
Well, now I'm getting really excited, and a
What's your
seven-year-old
favorite
Dave is coming out.
Pokemon?
All right, so if I could be any Pokemon today I think I have to go with Gengar. Actually, you know what? Take that back. I think every day I have to go with Gengar because I always thought Gengar was very misunderstood, like me. I think he really is a good dude. I think because he just like
He's
looks
already
scary and looks different that everybody just thinks he's like evil and like bad, but really he's a good dude that just likes to have fun and like pull pranks on people. And that's something that I can really relate to. So I think I got to go with Gengar every single day.
I feel like
There you go.
Dave's answer was like very deep and real and
Yeah,
raw, and I was
and
just
we're
like,
over here,
Mewtwo's dope.
and I'm like, I like the way Bulbasaur looks.
Yeah, I would love if I would love, dude, for what is it, Rhydon or even like Onyx, bro. If I could have them as like a pet, son, you imagine rolling up to like work or like school parking lot, you got freaking ride Onyx, dog. Ain't
Well,
nobody
now I'm getting
messing.
really excited.
Yeah,
We need to
dude,
make this
imagine that.
happen.
That'd be so sick. I used to think about that as a kid. I was very Pokemon obsessed as a kid, and then my cousins showed me a pack of Yu-Gi-Oh cards and basically told me that Pokemon was for little kids. And they're like, "Yo, you're playing with a daggum little dragon Charmander, and I've got a blue eyes white dragon that can eat that thing." And I'm like, "You're right." and then probably threw away like legitimately good,
Expensive.
expensive Pokemon. I mean, I don't think I had like a base Charizard,
Yeah,
anything
yeah,
like that.
but those things have started becoming worth way more than I think any of us ever thought that they would be.
Oh, of course not.
Who would have known that the cards we were throwing into the toy bin as kids were like financial investments?
Yeah, dude, if only, bro.
Sometimes you have to learn the hard way.
That's
Yeah, yeah.
exactly right.
That's amazing. All right, guys, last question. Where are some places in Pendergrass that visitors should check out?
Oh my goodness.
I don't know if there's much in Pendergrass.
Yeah, I mean, like Pendergrass is starting to become it's crazy, Dave. Like in all sincerity, so like growing up here my whole life, right? We're pretty much kind of rural country area. But within the past few years, in more like specifics, we're in like Jackson County is the county we're in. And it's like I think charting at like 4 or 5 on the top moved to countries in the United or the counties in the United States. So it's becoming so infrastructured up. So we're seeing a lot more like, I don't know, dude. We just had a Chick-fil-A open down the street, but you're
Nice.
seeing also like battery plants and all these like
Like
major
corporate growth.
corporate
Yeah.
growth here. And which I always say, we always joke, it's great for the business that we're in, but it's not necessarily great for like personal living.
Yeah.
So to really go to somewhere depends on what you like, but I mean, we got plenty of food around here. There's no shortage of that. But
Yeah.
like,
The flea market's probably like the staple of Pendergrass. We have
yeah,
Pendergrass Flea Market, and that's like the go-to place on a Saturday.
yeah, and then we have the Mall of Georgia, which is I think one of the world's largest or the
Yeah.
country's largest malls, and it's like 30 minutes away. So, and they have a pet land in there. If you like to pet dogs, you can go do that for free. I always like to find things that it's like, hey, what can we do without spending a whole lot of money?
Yeah.
Because as you become an adult, that's like you wonder how you did so many things as a kid and didn't spend money that you didn't have. And then when you become an adult, you're like, how can I do anything without spending any friggin' money?
Yeah. You
But
gotta learn to entertain yourself outside real quick.
yeah, in the when it's fall.
Yeah.
But I like that we have some good like nature around here too. If you like to hike and stuff like that, we're not far from this. Like, there's some parks, Sells Mills Parks.
Oh yeah.
We talked about skateboarding. We have Duncan Creek Skate Park. It's not far. So there's definitely like activities to do, but you might have to go 10, 15 minutes away, which now is pretty, that's a pretty commonality of a drive.
Yeah. At least here in Georgia it is, yeah. I mean, anything you want to go do is probably gonna be about 15 to 30 minutes away from you where we live.
Which I just started getting into kind of like electric motorcycles or electric dirt bikes. So me and my buddy love to go out. There's a bunch of trails around here that we'll go out and ride like, half of a day on Saturday, which to me is just a blast. It's just therapeutic as anything else. Uh, but I don't know. I mean, if you're into that kind of thing, like walking, biking, nature, there's plenty of that here. I just hope that don't go away with the infrastructure coming in.
Well, when I get down there, we'll have to hit up the skate park and shred it up.
There
Yeah,
you go,
dude,
brother.
because I will say the skate park that's up here it's a really nice skate park. It's kind of a mixed bag on when you go if it's going to be just completely packed out. I'm kind of like a noob when it comes to skateboarding, so like I wouldn't say that it's like an intimidation thing that I'm scared to skateboard in front of other people, but I'm less likely to try certain things if there's like a crowded park. So I tend to like to go, because there's a lot of pretty big stair sets and then good handrails, stuff like that. But do you like to skate more street or vert?
I'm more of a street skater.
See, that's how I am. They
Same.
they have like half the park is big bowls and stuff, which are really fun. But it's all obviously concrete. So I'm like, yeah, dude, I think I'll stick to some of the street stuff in the smaller bowls because some of the drop-ins is just
Are
like
pretty
night and
I'm
gnarly.
not
day.
trying to fall on my face and then get hit by some kid on a scooter.
Yeah, exactly right,
Oh,
dude. Or
the scooter
rollerblade.
Yeah.
kids. Those
Yeah.
scooter
Bro,
kids.
they're everywhere.
We used to have a skate park up in it was called Sugarloaf Mills. You ever heard of Woodward? It was
Yeah,
a
yeah.
Woodward.
The skate camp.
Yeah, yeah. So I grew up, I went to a couple of those Woodward skate camps, man, and they ended up shutting that location down. But I went there all the time as a kid when my parents would need to go do some shopping or something up there. They just drop us off, pay like, I don't know, $20 or something. We get to skate all day while they shopped. I'm like, that was a win-win for everybody.
Yeah. I remember when they opened up one when I was a teenager out towards where I grew up in Snowville off of Ronald Reagan Parkway. They opened up a skate park when I was like 13, which was super exciting. It was like the first skate park to open
Yeah.
up near us. And I remember going there probably like 2 or 3 times, and then this 4-year-old started skating in front of me and doing things that I could never figure out how
You
to
quit
do.
right there on the
Yeah,
spot.
pretty much. I was like, yeah, I don't think I'm coming back here. I just got showed up by a
Well,
4-year-old.
dude, we all know this, and Dave, I'm sure you've seen it too, bro. If you're brown, if you even mention the word skateboarding, right, you'll start to see like videos pop up on Facebook and stuff. Bro, some of these kids, dude, I saw a kid the other day and he did a back-to-back 900. A kid, like, dude was like 11, 12 years old, doing like when Tony Hawk did the first one ever, of course, was a
Yeah.
grandiose achievement. And then you've got a kid now that's like doing it like butter, like it's nothing. I'm like, bro, I can't even land that in Tony Hawk because I can't get the height. And it's like these kids, dude, are like tray flip feeble down a 20 stair. I'm like, bro, did you see Nigel Houston fall the other day?
No, I did not, but I did see the kid, what was it, the Japanese kid land the 900. I'm like, that's insane. I was like,
Bro,
the future is very, very bright. Well, I really appreciate you guys coming on, and the support means the world to me.
man, we appreciate you again for having us and your selfless desire to keep doing this, bro. Because like I said prior, like 13 years is a long time to do anything, especially something like this where I'm sure sometimes it's easy to get burnt out if you're not feeling supported and loved. But I tell you, man, not just me, not just Jerry, there's a lot of people that support what you're doing.
Well, thank you so much, guys. Really appreciate it. So for the people that are going to watch this interview later, where can they find your music at?
They can find us on pretty much all major streaming platforms. You look up Fallow, you may be able to find it. It's kind of hard to sort through. The easiest way is to go on TikTok or Instagram or Facebook and look up Fallow Band, or even YouTube, look up Fallow Band, and that will pull us up a lot quicker and get you access to the music a lot faster.
Well, do what they say. Go to the websites, listen to the music, buy a CD, buy a vinyl, support local music, buy a shirt. You guys are killing it. Keep up the amazing work.
Thank you
We
so much,
appreciate
bro.
it.
Don't forget you can buy a calendar when Jerry comes out with his
Yeah.
fall calendar.
Yeah, only fall will be out next year.
And then after that, it'll be summer and spring and so on and so forth. I'm just really looking forward to the winter one. The winter one's going to be a lot of food, nice and juicy. Well, I hope you guys have a great night and we'll be in touch.
We
Thank you,
appreciate
bro.
it, Dave.
Talking
Thank you so
to you,
much,
Dave.
brother.
Peace.
See you, bro.
See you, brother.